Adapting a book to a movie is a balancing act that often changes key elements, from pacing to the core message. This can result in characters and relationships being portrayed in a very different light on screen. One striking example of this is the wildly popular 2018 movie Crazy Rich Asians, adapted from Kevin Kwan's best-selling novel of the same name. Crazy Rich Asians transformed from satire in the book to genuine romance in the film. On the surface, the film stays true to the book's plot. Rachel True, an economics professor raised by her hardworking immigrant mother, travels to Singapore with her boyfriend Nick Yan for a family wedding. Once there, Rachel discovers that Nick's family is not just well off, they are absurdly wealthy, and she suddenly finds herself navigating the unfamiliar world of high society. However, where the book delivers satire of Singapore's ultra-rich elites, the film adaptation shifts the tone into something much more familiar and enchanting, a contemporary Cinderella story. This change recasts the film as a heartwarming romantic comedy, softening the book's critique of wealth and privilege. In the book, Crazy Rich Asians isn't just a catchy title. It reflects Rachel's growing discomfort with a world obsessed with wealth. She openly voices her frustration with Nick's family and friends, saying, "I've had enough of being around all these crazy rich Asians, whose lives revolve around making money, spending money, flaunting money, comparing money, hiding money, controlling others with money, and ruining their lives over money." By contrast, the film adaptation places less emphasis on the dark theme of greed. Instead, it transforms the story into a more universal narrative about love transcending cultural divides. Rachel's smarts and honesty are highlighted as she navigates her relationship with Nick in a glamorous but unfamiliar world. The result is a film that feels less like a critique of access and more like a celebration of personal growth, mutual understanding, and true love. But how exactly does the film turn a satirical novel into a heartwarming romantic comedy? In this video essay, I'll explore 3 major ways the film modernizes classic love story tropes, blending them seamlessly into a fresh new tale. At its heart, Crazy Rich Asians borrows heavily from one of the most enduring love stories of all time, Cinderella. From the moment the film introduces Nick Yan, it's clear he's the story's crown prince.
His name is Nick Young.
Early in the movie, when Nick and Rachel are spotted in a coffee shop, gossip about Nick's secret girlfriend spreads like wildfire across social media. We are treated to a fast-paced montage of text messages, all leading back to Nick's mother, Eleanor, in Singapore. This scene establishes Nick as more than just a wealthy guy.
The Youngs are like royalty. Did you not know? Does she not know?
On the other side, Rachel is cast as a commoner. Michael, Nick's cousin-in-law, calls her a commoner like me, drawing a sharp line between the wealthy elite and those outside the world. And much like in the classic Cinderella story, Nick's mother, Eleanor, takes on the role of the evil stepmother. She fiercely tries to keep Rachel and Nick apart. From hiring a private detective, to uncover secrets about Rachel's family, to bringing in Nick's grandmother to disapprove of the relationship, Eleanor acts as a barrier to the Cinderella character's pursuit of happiness. Rachel's friend Peg Lin, portrayed with comedic timing by Awkwafina, serves as a modern fairy godmother. Peg Lin guides Rachel through the challenges of fitting into Singapore's high society. Alongside Peg Lin, Oliver Tan, Nick's cousin, also takes on the fairy godmother role. He transforms Rachel's look for Singapore's so-called event of the century, Colin and Araminta's wedding. The visual cues are all there, from the light blue dress Rachel wears, reminiscent of Cinderella's gown, to the gold Bentley that ferries her to the wedding, not unlike Cinderella's magical carriage. Like the classic tale, Rachel's story also includes a happy ending. After a tense moment at the wedding reception, Rachel rushes out, with Nick chasing after her. In a playful nod to the Cinderella myth, Nick's cousin Eddie calls out to Rachel.
Hey Cinderella, what's wrong? You got return your dress before midnight?
The imagery is clear as Rachel walks barefoot, high heels in hand, a modern twist on Cinderella's glass slipper. While the original book ends with a more ambiguous reconciliation, the film delivers a classic fairy tale ending. Nick proposes to Rachel, and the film leaves no doubt about their future together. This ending echoes the happily ever after ending of the Cinderella story, giving audiences the closure they appreciate. It's clear that the film isn't interested in a deep critique of capitalism or the excesses of Singapore's elite. Unlike the book's satirical take on wealth, the film's mise-en-scène is important in creating a dreamy image. The Gold family's house, with its gold gates, bouquets, and gold-toned furniture, is a flashy contrast to the Young family's old money vibe at Tyrrell Park, with the quiet presence of personal guards, a Gatsby entrance to the space, its enormous size, and rare possessions. These settings become the stage for the fairy tale to play out. The film wants you to see the wealth, not judge it. Nick's family's money is more than just a plot point. It's a visually textured canvas that draws us deeper into the romance. The movie dramatizes cultural differences and makes Rachel and Nick's love story feel more like a modern twist on classic star-crossed lovers. While both Rachel and Nick share Chinese heritage, the dialogues hint that their cultural experiences are quite different.
Yellow on the outside and white on the inside.
Not only Pei clean, even Rachel's mom, Kelly, warns her about the cultural gap.
你看起来是华人，你讲的是中文，可是这里和这里 you're different.
Initially, Rachel doesn't take it seriously.
They're Chinese, I'm Chinese. I'm so Chinese, I'm an economics professor with lactose intolerance.
It's funny, and it also shows how Rachel doesn't yet realize she might face hostility from Nick's mother, Eleanor. What the movie adaptation does so well is humanizing Eleanor.
The main triangle was Rachel, Nick, and Eleanor, and the main conflict was between Rachel and Eleanor, even though everybody loved all the other characters in the book. And that was one of the biggest challenges of deciding which characters we were going to go with.
While the original book focuses more on Eleanor's obsession with status and inheritance, the movie digs deeper into her cultural and family-first mentality. In the pivotal dumpling-making scene, Eleanor explains how she gave up her own career to support her family, something she believes Rachel, raised in America, would never do. Rather than focusing on Eleanor's ambition for wealth and power, the film highlights more universally relatable qualities: Eleanor's sense of duty, devotion, and motherly love. These qualities make Eleanor's interference in Nick's romantic life more understandable.
My grandmother, my aunts, my mother, they're all very strong women, strong points of view, incredibly entertaining, incredibly controlling. But having grown up in it, I knew where it came from. It comes from this place of, really wanting the best for your children.
Not just a status-obsessed mother, Eleanor is a protector of her family's legacy.
With a movie like this, which could play, just like more of a heightened words like superficial rom-com, to really sort of touch in on all those family dynamics and show where it comes from.
Eleanor's interactions with Nick's ama gives us a glimpse into the traditional expectations placed on women across generations.
这是你包的饺子吧？怎么包那么难看呢？退步了，全是你的错儿，都是你呀，让他在外头待那么久。
Unlike the original book, though, the film adaptation has Eleanor eventually change her mind about Rachel. What is it about Rachel's character that brings about this change? One of the biggest ways the film modernizes the classic love story trope is by giving Rachel more agency. In the book, things are left ambiguous when it comes to Nick's proposal. But in the film, Nick proposes twice, and what really stands out is how Rachel handles them. During the iconic mahjong scene, Rachel sacrifices her own happiness for Nick's well-being.
I'm not leaving because I'm scared. Or because I think I'm not enough. Because maybe for the first time in my life, I know I am. I just love Nick so much. I don't want him to lose his mom again.
This act of selflessness not only ties the movie back to classic love stories like Cinderella, but also to the popular 琼瑶文艺 melodramas of the 1970s.
我的房子不值那么多钱，用钱来买你心里的平安。 跟我的爱情也太便宜了，所以你省省吧。
These films, like The Young Ones, The Heart with a Million Knots, and especially the Autumn Love Song, often featured working-class heroines who sacrifice their own desires for the sake of love and family. They marry their Prince Charming at the end, but their love is reward for staying true to their dignity and moral integrity. Zhiyun, played by Bridget Lin in the Autumn Love Song, is ready to give up her relationship with Chao Fan, the wealthy businessman's son. She does this for the sake of her sick brother Zhu Wei.
董小姐，如果你没有一个白痴的弟弟，我倒愿意超凡娶你。
殷先生，你忌讳白痴吗？白痴并不可怜，可怜的是我们，猜忌、多疑、贪心。主委快乐，而我们并不快乐。你知道是为什么吗？因为我们太聪明，太庸人自扰。
Rachel's character shows the same dignity and selflessness. By giving up her chance to be with Nick, Rachel wins Eleanor's respect, proving that she's not just another outsider, but someone who values family and love just as much.
You have no one, no net worth. But you have integrity. That's why I respect you.
The movie Crazy Rich Asians isn't just about the dazzling world of the ultra-rich. It's also about cultural differences, class challenges, and the sacrifices made for love. Timeless themes that echo through stories from Cinderella to Chinese melodramas. The film adapts these ideas for a modern audience. It presents Rachel as a relatable heroine with virtue, selflessness, and strength. With its rich setting and heartfelt story, Crazy Rich Asians offers a fresh take on the classic love story, once again showing how true love can bridge cultural and class divides.